Hello dear students, here I would like to welcome you all in a second lecture on solid mechanics. In the first lecture of solid mechanics, we have seen a proposed syllabus and the examination scheme of a solid mechanics. So before starting the unit number 1, first of all, we try to understand the basic required for the solid mechanics. So here engineering mechanics, it is a branch of a science which deals with study of behavior of a material under the action of external load. So this engineering mechanics subject again classified as a solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. So solid mechanics is a subject which come across with the solid material, and the fluid mechanics, it is the subject which come across with the fluid as a material. Then solid mechanics. So solid mechanics is further classified as a mechanics of non-deformable body and the mechanics of deformable body. Now in the subject engineering mechanics that you already studied in the first year engineering, that subject is a mechanics of non-deformable body. In that subject you assume the body is a rigid body. That means the body will not go under any deformation after the application of external load. But in the solid mechanics, we are going to consider whatever the material we are going to use, that material is a deformable. So that is the main difference between the subject engineering mechanics and the solid mechanics that now we are going to learn. Solid mechanics. Solid mechanics, it is the branch of engineering mechanics which deals with stress, strength and stiffness of a material under the action of external loads. Means in this subject we are going to study the deformation, stress of a material under the action of external loads. Before studying the stress, first of all we are going to see the different types of forces. So here actually we are talking about the surface force. So first force is a normal force. So whenever line of action of a force is perpendicular to the surface on which it is acting, at that time that force is called as a normal force. So here in this figure you can see the pressure P is acting normally to the cross section area of a given body. So this force is a normal force, and the normal force may be a tensile or compressive in nature. In this figure the nature of a normal force is a tensile. Now next is a tangential or the shear force. So in this case, when the line of action of a force is parallel to the surface on which it is acting, at that time that force is called as a tangential force or a shear force. So in this figure you can see the line of action of a force Q or R is a simply parallel to the cross section area. So therefore this force becomes a tangential force or a shear force. Now here we are going to learn about a stress. So stress, now as already said, the solid mechanics, it is a subject which consider a body is a deformable body. So whenever we apply the external load on a given body, it will deform. But as we know that the body is made up of a number of molecules, and there is a force of attraction between the molecules. So this force of attraction resists the further deformation of a body when the body is subjected to external load. So due to of this resistance to the further deformation, the stresses exist within the body. So stress is defined as an intensity of internal resistance for the further deformation of a body due to the action of external load is called as a stress. So stress is equal to the resistive force divided by the area on which it is acting. But as per the principle of equilibrium, deformation will be continue due to the action of external force on the body until the internal resistance become equal to the applied force. So due to of this one, resistance force becomes equal to the applied force. So therefore the formula for the stress becomes force divided by area. So this is the formula, which this formula we are going to determine the stresses in all these 5 units. Now the unit of stress. So as per the formula, the SI unit of a stress is Newton per meter square, called as a Pascal. Many times you will find the stress, unit of the stress, in terms of a megapascal. So 1 megapascal is nothing but 1 Newton per meter square. Even you can find the unit of a stress in a gigapascal. Now here we will see the different types of stresses. So first type is the normal stresses. So normal stress exists on a material when the material is going to be subjected by the normal force. So normal stress is a ratio of normal force divided by the area on which it is acting, and the normal stress are tensile or compressive in nature. So here you can see a bridge structure. So this bridge structure is a good example of the normal stresses. Now next, shear stresses. Now the shear stress is acting on the material due to the shear force. Now in the figure number 1, you can see a punch and a plate. So this punch exerting a shear force on the plate during the punching. So here you can see the shaded area. The shaded area of the plate, which is being subjected to the shear stress due to the punch force P. And second figure, it is the figure of Kelvin joint. Due to the load P, you can see the bolt will be subjected to shear stress, and that shear stress is acting on the cross-sectional area of a Kelvin joint bolt. Now here you can see the representation of normal stress and a shear stress. So here you can see the normal stress is represented by a letter sigma, and the tangential stress is represented by letter tau. Now next type of stress is the bending stress. Bending stress is one of the type of normal stress, and in the more detail we will learn about the bending stress in a beam chapter. The mostly beam is subjected to bending stresses due to the various load condition. Next type of the stress is the torsional stress. So torsional stress, it is the one type of the shear stress which is acting on the body when it is subjected to torsional load. So here you can see some real example of a element which are subjected to torsional stress. So here you can see the shaft and the flange. So due to transmission of the torque by the shaft is subjected to a torsional stress. The same here with the flange. Due to the transmission of the torque from one shaft to the another with the help of the flange, the shaft is subjected to a torsional stress due to of this torsional loading. So these are the a real life problem of a torsional stresses. Now next type of stress is a combined stresses. So whenever material is subjected to both as a normal and the shear stress, at that time we can say a body is subjected to combined stresses. So here in the figure you can see there is a shaft which having 3 number of pulleys or the gear to transmit the different types of the torque. So due to of this transmission of the torque, the shaft is being subjected to the combined stresses as a normal stresses and a shear stresses. One more type of stress, even there is a one more type of the stress, and that stress is called as a bearing stress. So this bearing stress is exerting on a material or on a part which is being connected by the rivet or a bolt. So this rivet and the bolt is exerting the additional stresses on the plate are called as a bearing stresses. So these are the different types of the stresses we learn in this today's lecture. Thank you.